What's up guys, Conrad here with another video, and today we're going to be correlating animals with people. Now I know this is a bit of an unusual topic, but why don't we have some fun with it anyway? So we often use animals as a way to describe someone's character, personality and appearance, sometimes with either negative or positive connotations. So I'm going to be going through the characteristics and traits of multiple animals, and perhaps you'll be able to find some of your traits and quirks within some of them. Now I don't have time to go through every animal of every species in the animal kingdom, so I'm just going to go through some of the more popular ones. So with that being said, let's get started. So first we have a dog. Means you're someone who's loyal, generally pretty happy and easygoing, although somewhat naive. You make a great friend, and you're happy to hang around with most people. You're always so excited about life, even though there isn't always a reason to be. You try to see the positive in everything, even if that means being somewhat ignorant to the real world. A cat. You're pretty mysterious, yet cute. You're not particularly the most loyal person. You're more selective with who you hang out with. You are cunning, intelligent, and often use your perceived innocence to get what you want. You're very good at having multiple friends, provide you with exactly what you need. But at the same time, you are very independent, and you don't take shit from anyone. You don't like someone unless there's a good reason to. You'll even like people who don't particularly like you back. A giraffe. You're generally pretty tall. Everyone loves you because you're so tall. You tower over everyone. But putting height aside, you're elegant, sophisticated, and somewhat aloof. Although you are not arrogant, you're definitely a head-turner, and you could say you're the life of the party. What's not to like? Although you're a bit self-conscious, you're always striving to improve and adjust your image. You're creative, artistic, and also very romantic. A pig. Although you are very intelligent and can get many rather rough jobs done, you're not particularly the most hygienic or fashionable, and you don't particularly have the most attuned manners when it comes to eating your meals. You're very messy, but you're still very lovable. You're a good person, just sometimes misunderstood. When someone takes the time to actually get to know you, they realize that you have something special, and you're someone worth having around. A horse. You pride yourself on your elegance and strength. You're an athletic marvel, an Adonis. You work to serve others. You're actually a huge benefit to society. Just being around you gives someone more status, and your hair is enviable by most people. You're a very nice person indeed, free-spirited, but you can have a bit of a temper when you're pushed around too much. You're the envy of most men due to many aspects of your physicality. An eagle. You are brave and wild. You don't care what people think of you. You do your own thing. You're a strong spirit who's attracted to extreme outdoor sports. You live to challenge yourself. You get what you want in unconventional ways. And you're one of the most successful because you're the best at what you do. A deer. You're very shy, yet somewhat emotionally unstable. You're all over the place, but generally very attractive. It's easy to fall in love with you, even though it will most likely come with a lot of headache and drama. A wolf. You're quite family orientated. You're proud of where you come from, compassionate, quite emotional, but a true patriot. Not afraid to say what you think. You're a pretty fun person too, and insanely ambitious, being able to work in highly stressful situations. Due to your communication skills, you can effectively work in a team. You're very competent, but don't boast about it too much, as you have a healthy level of self-confidence. A sheep. Now let's be honest, you're a bit of a moaner. People will use you, not for your intelligence, but more for your superficial traits. You like to follow the crowd, as not to stand out or ruffle any feathers. You rely on other people to have your back, and you definitely like to follow the herd mentality. You don't like to draw too much attention to yourself, because that would give you too much responsibility. You're kind of meek, shy, generally don't have that much to say, but that's cool because we love you anyway. A fox. You're very shy. You prefer to be alone. You're more comfortable in your own company and rather not be too close to others. However, you are a survivor. You know how to handle yourself when shit goes down. You're crafty and a bit of a trickster, although you wouldn't intentionally harm someone. You don't generally like to follow the rules. You think outside the box, and you're willing to live in a way that most people won't be able to handle. And for that, you have my respect. A goat. You're very curious, inquisitive, and excited to explore. You are zen, calm, and generally quite pleasant. You're pretty much a hippie. A spider. Which means you're pretty much Spider-Man. But if you're not, you tend to be very good with your hands, especially when it comes to constructing delicate silk. You'd make a great seamstress, and so that makes you extremely creative. Although, you're not necessarily the most attractive looking person. In all honesty, your appearance can be quite frightening to a lot of people. But beneath that comes a lot of talent. There are people who will dig your vibe. You're the definition of someone who sets everything up and enjoys the fruits of their labor a bit later. You spend a long time working on constructing your web or funnel, and then your meals just kinda come to you. A shark. You're ruthless, and you don't really possess a moral compass. It's all about getting what you want, by any means necessary. You're results orientated, and becoming rich is your main motivation. Doesn't matter how, and it doesn't matter who you hurt. You're gonna get what you want, and no one is gonna stop you, because not many people would dare mess with you. You're cutthroat and very dangerous. Killing is just part of what you do. Your physical appearance resembles that of a well-dressed gangster. A worm. People just step all over you. What can I say? You like to hide. You hardly ever go outside. Yet you're still pretty dirty. Life hasn't been especially kind to you, because you have no faculties or physical characteristics that anyone would want to possess. I'm sorry to say that you lost the genetic lottery in this case. A snail. You're pretty delicate. You're pretty slow in more ways than one. You like to chill, like all the time. You definitely like to take your time, even if it's to the detriment of other people. And because you're so fragile in the sense of what you are and where you live, it will lead to your ultimate downfall. A crocodile. You're a pretty cranky old-timer. You don't give a f***. You just want to chill and not have to deal with other people's stupidity. You're like a Vietnam War veteran. You're fierce and authoritative, very old-fashioned, and in all your years of living, you have seen a lot of things. You're not the most compassionate person, and you're more interested in your own survival than going out of your way to help others. However, you are willing to do the kinds of jobs that most people wouldn't. A pigeon. You're always searching for scraps and pestering people for financial help. And you like to shit on everyone who's more successful than you. But you have some nice traits as well, such as the fact that you're vegetarian, and you're extremely good at delivering messages. A peacock. You're pretty much a dandy. You like to overdress and show off your extravagant clothes in order to appeal to the opposite sex. You live to be attractive, and your main desire is for people to like you. You're the equivalent of a very successful male model. You need constant appraisal and reassurance, and are a bit of a narcissist, but in a way, you earned it, because not many people can match your level of beauty. A tiger. You're damn confident, determined, and willing to take risks, and extremely athletic. You know how to lead, and you do well with families, but you do have a bit of an ego. You're the alpha male that every guy would love to be. You're always striving for greatness. You're not easily manipulated or tamed. And you haven't got time for bullshit. And you don't like to beat around the bush when it comes to getting what you want. A lion. You're strong, powerful, and courageous. Very prideful of where you come from. You're the traditional alpha male who's the patriarch of the family. You always have a beard and a thick, luscious, full head of hair. You eat a lot of meat, and you enjoy devouring the very best steaks. You're often attracted to work that's associated with the military, and you want to rise up the ranks and hopefully become a king. You're pretty much the embodiment of Napoleon, and once you reach the top, you'd love nothing more than just to chill with your tigress or multiple tigresses and large family and not have anyone mess with you. Most people wouldn't dare mess with you because you are the boss. A hyena. You tend to laugh for no particular reason, but mainly due to your jitteriness, which can make you rather annoying to some people. You're a scavenger, always looking for people's leftovers. But you're not exactly innocent or harmless. You're the equivalent of a psycho mugger or someone like the Joker. You're funny in a messed up, dark kind of way. You're an intelligent predator and somewhat misunderstood because when it comes down to it, you're just trying to survive, even though your vibe is very particular. A rat. You like to gossip, and you're susceptible to telling people secrets about other people. Suffice to say, you aren't exactly trustworthy. You won't last long in prison, that's for sure. But you are resourceful. You can think on your feet. You're very imaginative and can come up with unique ways of surviving and hiding. You have the ability to trick people who are even more intelligent than you, because you have street smarts. You've been on the streets your whole life. You're very scruffy and you don't care what you put in your mouth as long as you're able to feed yourself. You do what you gotta do to survive. You're also quite cheeky and witty, so for that reason, you might actually make quite a good comedian. But you're still a snitch. A hippo. You're a big dude, a lovable giant, pretty jolly, and you have a caring and warm personality. You're like the perfect neighbor, a good law-abiding citizen, although you may not be the most intellectual, and you are pretty lazy. You generally like to chill in a jacuzzi, a lot. But you do carry some sadness within you as well, which not many people get to see. You have a good heart, and you like helping people. However, you don't have that much self-control in regards to how much you eat. A fish. You're not particularly good at remembering things. You're so in the present moment that your past just kinda doesn't exist. But you're very enthusiastic about snorkeling, diving, and swimming in general, obviously. You love to explore nature and be with other explorers like yourself, although you often put yourself in dangerous situations, as you're often like a fish out of water, which makes you vulnerable to predators. An octopus. You're great at multitasking, as you often quite literally have your hands in 8 different baskets. People often think that you're from another planet, which just goes to show how unique you really are. You have many talents. You possess a weird, quirky sort of sexiness that many will find rather irresistible. You will go a long way, especially in places like Japan. But at the same time, you're pretty strange. You have no backbone, but you're very strong and extremely flexible, which means you'd be quite good at acrobatics. You're an enigma and very unpredictable, eccentric. You're willing to go into questionable industries because of your many talents. A scorpion. You're dangerous and solitary. People can just take one look at you and just feel that it may not be in their best interest to be too close to you. You're mysterious, ruthless, revengeful, and good at manipulating people with your extreme narcissism. Some people will fall for you, but once you get your claws into someone, it could mean the death of them in some form or another. A kangaroo. You're a fighter. You know all the martial arts. You're like the Australian jock or surfer, just a cool dude and generally in great shape. You're the person anyone can count on when they're out in the wild. You're a bit of a thrill seeker. You like to enjoy life, and you have a great sense of humor. A gorilla. You're more intelligent than people think. You're a big guy, adventurous, and generally quite humble, and you don't care what people think. You just want to enjoy your life. You're like a huge bodybuilder, more geared towards labor jobs. You don't care about being overly pristine or sophisticated, and you aren't as vain as many other people. You're street smart and can get things done. Although a little bit intense, your heart is in the right place. A bat. You like to work nights. You're quite into the supernatural and like to wear black mainly. You're pretty gothic. Your humor is also pretty dark, and you would definitely classify yourself as spiritual. You're not a big fan of conforming, and you definitely don't like people telling you what to do, and so you like to live by your own rules. Some people will find you scary, but your actions are anything but malicious. You're just somewhat misunderstood. A rabbit. Even though appearance-wise you're adorable and cute, you like to cause a lot of mischief. You're good at getting out of tricky situations, and you're quite the survivor. You're sensitive, tender, although somewhat unambitious, because you're too distracted by your biological urge to procreate. A chicken. If you're a chicken, well, it's pretty obvious that you're somewhat of a coward. You tend to shy away from taking risks, and you're rather stubborn about it, and you can become quite aggressive when people start bothering you. A bear. You're big, gruff, and quite outdoorsy, a survivalist at heart. Although perhaps not the most social, you like to have your own space and your own property in the wilderness ideally. You are single-minded and a natural-born leader. People often mistake you for being a gentle giant. But if pushed, then people definitely think twice about messing with you. A tortoise. You have an old soul. You like to take life slow and enjoy every moment of nature. You're not in a rush. You like to live in the moment. You're a person of very few words, but you have some great wisdom, knowledge, and you're able to advise the younger generation. Your presence is soothing, and you always bring a smile to people's faces. A snake. You are sly, charming, nonchalant, and seductive. The equivalent of a sleazy salesman. You're able to talk people into doing things they know they shouldn't. If you need to lie, you'll have no problem lying. You use your perceived friendliness to get what you want, right under someone's nose. And once someone discovers what you have just done, it's already too late. You come across as very sophisticated, but at the end of the day, your morality is questionable. You are predominantly trustworthy only to yourself. If there's money to be made in scams, you're not opposed to using them to your advantage. A donkey. You're a lovable idiot. You don't always make the smartest decisions, but overall, you're a good person. You're curious, yet stubborn. You own who you are, and you're not all that concerned about what people think about you. You're very calming, and a good friend to have when someone needs to relieve some stress out of their life. So there you have it, guys. That was my list of animal personality traits that may or may not apply to some of you. If I feel like it, maybe I'll do a follow-up video one day covering even more animals. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.